Welcome back to the iRacing British Touring Car Championship round 27 from Silverstone National here on BSR TV with me, Chris Cohen, and joined once again by Matt Dalton.
Evening Chris, evening all.
And the cars just finishing their warm-up now for the reverse grid start in the final race of the evening from Silverstone National. It's proven to be an eventful track so far, Matt.
Yeah, it's pretty much anything that could have happened has happened so far, so race 3, always my favourite one of the night.
Ashley Sutton taking the first two races, and he did last time out as well, so a lot to prove from Sutton, who isn't in with a shout at the top of the championship, but has impressed since he's joined, really. And he's going to be starting 10th on the grid. Pole position goes to his teammate, Michael Hall, and another CQR driver, although it's CQR Fanta, Russell Laidler, will be starting from second, so it's a CQR front row.
Yeah, CQR front row. Chepelewski starting in 4th. Katz in the background there. Ashley Sutton going to have to fight his way past him and Simon Field. I mean, if Ashley wants to win this race and be the first guy we've seen to win 3 out of 3, he's going to have to fight his way past the 3 main championship contenders. One of whom, at least, I suspect has got some serious red mist in front of him in Mr. Chepelewski, and I predicted that he might do all 3 earlier. I don't think that's going to be the case now. I don't see there's any way that Chepelewski is going to let him by, even if he manages to get past Katz and Simon Field.
Well, we've got a wild card in the grid in the form of Ander Diaz, who's starting around the 6th position, I believe.
Yeah, he's the iRacing version of Tony Elias, isn't he? The little tiger, and you know, he's not afraid of a little bit of contact and making some moves either. So
he's not the one from the Frosties packet, is he?
No, he's not.
Different tiger.
Different tiger.
Right. Glad we sorted that one out.
Tony Elias is the guy who won probably the greatest MotoGP race I've ever seen. Actually, in Portugal. Which was an absolutely brilliant race where he beat Valentino Rossi by about 0.03 of a second.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Where is Michael Hall, though? Has he joined the session? That'll be interesting if he hasn't actually made it into the session. Let's just refresh our timing information and make sure that he is in there.
He's not listed yet, is he?
Well, the cars are now gridding, so Michael Hall is missing this race. So he's not going to be starting from pole position. And that means pole position is going to be empty.
Russell Laidler. No, Russell Laidler on pole, Laura Bond second. I've got.
Well, that's remarkable, but that's promoted Russell Laidler to the pole position, and Laura Bond in second. So it's not going to be a CQR front row. That's the Bianco of Laura Bond on the right hand side of your picture. Ellis Stevens just behind. But of course that means that Chepelewski is going to be starting from 4th position, and he's not got so many cars to get around to get to the front.
Oh. Well, Scott Malcolm to 10th as well, which is very strange. Scott Malcolm.
Well, the lights are on here at Silverstone.
The last race. I'm not sure what's gone on there.
We're ready to go racing as we've got green light here at round 27 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship. Russell Laidler leads the grid away. Good start from Laura Bond though, but Chepelewski straight through. Looks to take second place immediately, cuts in front of Laura Bond. Ellis Stevens on the inside as well. And that's Ander Diaz already marking his... Oh, and we got a crash in the background. That's one of the BSR TV cars. Kai Barker is off. And another car off there as well. Oh dear, that wasn't a good start. But
nope,
Laidler leads the field away.
But Sutton's just binned it, I think. I think we've just lost Ashley Sutton.
Ashley Sutton is indeed off. So that's Niels Jordan over the grass on the inside, and it's mayhem at the start here. But let's go back and see on the replay what happened to Ashley Sutton here as he's coming down into the maggots. Yeah, he's just spun the car around on his own, so no contact involved. It was his own doing, but he did manage to get out of the way of that big nasty wall, so the car is undamaged. There is that at least. Russell Laidler leads this race after 1 lap, but he's got Stelian Chepelewski, who made a remarkable start right behind him. Laura Bond already down to 5th position, unable to hold on to that, and Stevens now making a move on Ander Diaz. No, he's not.
Russell Rusty Krusty, as they were calling him earlier, Laidler is about to get well, he's going to get monstered by Chepelewski, isn't he? I don't think it matters how hard he wants to try on this one.
And Diaz has taken out Chepelewski. Chepelewski is sideways. He's recovered it, But Diaz is, and he's got to give that position back, surely. He has to give that back.
He won't.
Let's have another look at that on the replay.
We called him the Tiger, didn't we? But
well, we're on board now on the replay with Diaz, and well, it looked like he tried to go down the inside and then thought better of it, but he was too late to think better of it. And that's remarkable, Matt.
That's one word for it. I can think of a few others that I would probably use, but that's certainly one word for it.
Oh, and there's a Wix racing car off in the background. That's Simon Field. Oh, it's all going on here. Simon Field is off the track, down to 19th position. He was running so well. Well, let's have another look on that replay, because we've got that spooled up right now. Simon Field just gets a little bit of contact with one of the Biancos. Yeah, one of the Biancos just taps him off as he gets down the inside, so he'll feel very hard done by. We can't tell which Bianco it was, unfortunately, but Diaz, I mean, he must give that position back, surely.
Well, there's no rule that says he does, so he won't, but
well, I'm perplexed by that.
Chepelevsky's not going to be overly amused, is he? Let's be honest.
Well, we were talking about red mist before. I mean, I imagine his whole car's just full of red smoke by now.
Yeah, it's probably just a puff of red where he's actually spontaneously combusted. But Diaz, Diaz. Look, we said the guy, if he sees half a gap or even thinks there's half a gap, he's going to go for it, isn't he? I mean, personally, I'll be honest with you. If I was racing the same series, I don't think I'd either want to make sure that he was nowhere near me, or I'd want to make sure that I was nowhere near him. But
and Chepelevsky into the back of Diaz, into the back of Laidler as well.
What happened
there? Chepelevsky spun it. Chepelevsky is off, and he's just gone straight into the back of Diaz. Straight and simple. How unfortunate as well. Well, he's down to 12th now. Let's have another look at that one on the replay, and can we get a good camera angle of this? Not really.
He's just gone into the back of him, isn't he? I'm not sure he's...
And a little tap on the back of Laidler there from Diaz. Diaz managed to keep control of that car though, and Chepelevsky just keeps it off the wall, I think. Yeah, just keeps it off the wall and gets that car going again. But yeah, he obviously emotions running high for Stelian Chepelevsky, but that was an out-and-out mistake.
I think the guy's maybe braked a little earlier than he was expecting, but you're right. I think he's just pushing too hard. It's understandable. Look, if you're in his position, you work really hard for championship all year, and it's being taken away from you.
Oh, sorry, Matt. Stevens down the inside of Diaz. Diaz giving him no room at all. Wow.
You're not going to be able to get... If you're going to get your elbows out with him, I think you've got to be a bit firmer with him than that, haven't you? Well,
Diaz absolutely not willing to compromise there. And he's right on the back of Russell Laidler, who's managed to do a good job of holding on to this. Laura Bond, though, up to 4th position. Terry, her teammate, is in 5th, but that's Andreas Katz, and he's in 6th position. Stevens now down the inside.
He's have to get his elbows out here, isn't he?
Well, he's late on the brakes as Diaz, so he's going to hold it around the outside for now. Stevens looking for the better exit. Well, Stevens not one to force the issue, especially considering he's running in the 3rd position, and I don't think it matters what position Diaz is running in. He's determined to fight every battle.
Yeah, he'll force the issue wherever he is. Look, I was saying about Chepelevsky. I'll just go back to that again. Stelly is
down the inside again. Ellis Stevens on under Diaz, exactly the same move. He's turned him round.
This time.
Ellis Stevens. Well, Diaz gave him absolutely no room there as well, and well, Stevens is still going. Dropped a few positions. Diaz not doing so well.
Up to second briefly there, but Adam Terry's just nicked that one.
Well, let's
get him back.
Let's go and have another look on the replay here from Ellis Stevens' point of view, if we can, just on the nose cam. And just watching Ander Diaz on the left-hand side there. As we come into this corner, Diaz has not left any room on the inside whatsoever. I mean, he's right over on the curb, and there's nowhere for Stevens to go. So Diaz must know that Stevens is in that position, surely.
I think he knows and doesn't care, doesn't he?
Well, Stevens is now running in the 5th position.
He obviously decided at the beginning of this race he was going to try and drive with his clown shoes on, and that was that. So,
well, Diaz is now down to 10th position. He's got Stelian Chepelevsky up in front of him. So, after Chepelevsky's mistake, he's managed to get ahead of Diaz and back into the top 10. But yeah, let's try and go back to what you were saying before I need to cut you off again, Matt. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'd just say I do feel a little bit guilty. Perhaps we put the David Grinnell syndrome on it at the start of it. But You know, Chepalewski works really hard. He practices hard. He works as hard on setups and things like that during the week as anybody. And for him to have lost the championship in the last couple of weeks the way he has, or at least put himself in a position to lose it, is, you know, he's going to be really hard to take. So he will be pushing harder. And you know, I don't think some of the stuff he's been caught up in tonight, he probably wouldn't have normally if he hadn't been trying so hard. But you know, he was always going to be.
Well, Katz is now up to 4th position, having jumped in front of his teammate Ellis Stevens. So the distance between Katz and the leader is about half a second. Nothing in it. Absolutely nothing in it. Adam Terry.
Yeah, but Katz is, you know, he's not going to want to get involved in any of this up in front of him. He'll just sit back and watch. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need the points. The guys behind him, are, you know, that he needs to beat in the championship, are all behind him.
Look at that, 6 cars coming down the straight on the way into the Maggots hairpin. Side by side, Russell Laidler's got the inside though.
Laura's gone off.
Oh, and Bond's stuffed it at Maggots. What a shame. She's down to 6 now. Cutting back to those leaders again. Laidler holds on to it just about. Ellis Stevens is under threat from Watch a Wild.
That's our interest in this race over. We may as well quit now.
Well,
the Laura Bond fan club is going to pack its stuff up and go home.
Well, I remind you, 6th place would be a great finish.
It would.
So the top 5 are now separated by next to nothing. We're about halfway through this race as well. Hoog, who we mentioned and spoke to after the last race, is doing very well, moving up from 14th to the 9th position right now. So Ander Diaz has lost out to Stefan Hoog, and Chepalewski is up to 8th.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to be sat in that car at the minute, would you?
Well, Katz has gained a position back now from Laura Bond's mistake. Stevens running very wide there. Should be able to get back on the circuit. Richard Wilde right behind. And now almost 3 wide.
I don't know what the sound of Stellian swearing his head off in his native language would be
like.
Was
that a little touch from Adam Terry? Was that a touch that's pushed Laidler wide? Let's have a look. See if we can get a quick replay of that on your screen right now.
I think it was.
Yeah, a little tap from Adam Terry. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but that has pushed Russell Laidler down. And that, again, it's not even an option for Terry to give that position back, because we're talking about multiple positions now.
Nope.
No, we're not. Laidler's actually got back into 2nd after that. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to give it back in... Well, it'll be very difficult to do that.
He's put a massive lunge to re-overtake Andreas Katz after that little tap. So that's a brave move, and fair play to Andreas Katz for noticing he was gonna go for that there as well.
Well, let's go back and watch that one on the replay.
Oh, Katz is off. Katz and Ellis and Katz and Stevens have collided, and he's recovered it off the grass.
Wow. Okay, let's go back and have a look at that one then, because that's Katz up in front, and then there's Stevens on the left-hand side there. On the right-hand side, I beg your pardon. Left-hand side of your picture, is it? Now, they just don't... They're not aware of each other, are they? They both managed to get back on the track there. So, good car control from both of them, but what were they doing?
I don't know. I can't believe Katz has got away with that. I'm tempted to say that... I'm tempted to use the word jammy and something else. Anyway,
Adam Terry now with a big lead, and Laidler's under threat from Richard Wilde, who's moved up to 3rd.
He certainly seems to have inherited Chepalewski's luck in the last couple of weeks.
Richard Wilde now pulls to the inside to make the move down into Copse Corner. He's got the job done as well, but Laidler's coming back round the outside now.
Isn't it nice to see that there are 2 people who can run side by side without hitting each other? Everybody else has hit each other today.
Well, we'll reserve judgment until the next corner, because Wilde's going to have to back out of that one. Oh, Laidler's gone very deep. Manages to get it stopped, but he's going to compromise his speed down the straight to Brooklands. Richard Wilde all over the back of that CQR Fanta car, and Ellis Stevens is right behind with
Got the inside line now, isn't he? It should be a done and dusted, yeah.
Well, Laidler's going to give absolutely no room if he can, well, minimum amount of room. Well, actually, Laidler's gone very wide there.
Yep.
I expected him to come into that corner a lot hotter than that, but maybe he just wanted to keep it out of trouble. 3rd place wouldn't be a bad finish for him at all. He's got Ellis Stevens to worry about, and Katz right behind as well. So
look who's right behind Andreas Katz.
Chepalewski has worked his way up to 6th place. And that incident between Katz and Stevens was bizarre, but that... Oh, and Stevens is down the inside of Laidler now, and not quite going to get the job done there. But that's going to be a gift for Chepalewski, surely. He must be thinking, wow,
yeah,
that's caught me right up.
But he needs more luck than that, doesn't he? He needs cars in front of him. The gap at the top of the total is what, 30 points now, and
Well, we're just riding on board now with Stelian Chepelevsky, and he's going to need to find a way around Andreas Katz, and he's got 3 laps to do it. Even so, unless Katz withdraws from the race, it's not going to make too much difference, because Katz has already made up a lot of points at the head of the championship.
no, but there's danger. These guys in front of him are battling away, and Katz is going to have to try and avoid all of that. So,
well, there's cones all over the circuit as well.
He's had Ellis has already run him off and probably scared the living bejeebus out of him across the grass once. So, I think he's going to be taking anything for granted just yet.
Chepelevsky has Laura Bond right behind. Has Chepelevsky got a problem? I mean, no offence to Bond, but she doesn't normally have the pace to stick with Chepelevsky.
That contact with the back of Ander Diaz was pretty hard. I'll be amazed if he's not picked up some damage that he's struggling with from that.
And look at this now, going down to Maggots. There's 1, 2, 3, CQR, eBay, and Laidler's almost lost it going into Maggots there, and Stevens will have the run, but he's on the wrong side of the track. He's on the outside. He's going to have to make this one work, and he's not going to have the grunt to do it down the straight. Katz, though, potentially down the inside of Stevens here. Who's later on the brakes?
Katz is going to back out of that one, surely.
Well, Katz is quite content there in the 5th position at the moment. Chepelevsky right behind, but Laidler is really coming under threat from these eBay Motors cars now.
Stelly doing a very good job of resisting the temptation when he gets that close, just to let it run an extra mile an hour a little bit and give him the little tiny tap.
Stevens now sniffing down the inside of Laidler into turn 1 at Copse.
That's going to end in tears.
That's contact, and both cars well controlled.
Well held, guys. Stelly and Chepelevsky and Katz are next to each other, and Laura Bond's going to have a bit of this as well, and there's a car behind Laura that's going to fancy a bit of it as well. Chepelevsky's off again.
Chepelevsky late on the brakes. He's just kept it out. He's just missed Katz. He's lost out there though, hasn't he? He's gone. He's gone. Where's Chepelevsky? He's gone.
Disconnect.
Chepelevsky's out of the race. Unbelievable. Laura Bond getting pipped to it by Stefan Hoog, and they're 2 wide behind. That's Ander Diaz. Surprise, surprise. With Scott Malcolm, and Malcolm's taken Diaz out. Well, that was dramatic.
Else has.
Where's Ander Diaz? Ander Diaz is gone. He's disqualified. Too many incidents.
I wonder if that's what happened with Chepelevsky.
Well, let's see if we can.
It's going to be, isn't it?
I think you're right.
That big contact from Ander Diaz will have been probably a 4. He'll have had another one later on, which would have been a 4, and then a couple of off tracks, and that's it. I think that's he's been disqualified because he hasn't disconnected the session.
Well, Scott Malcolm has just ploughed straight into the back of Ander Diaz, and it was a very aggressive move round the outside by Diaz, but did take the position without contact, and that's massive. Chepelevsky will score no points here. We're on the last lap now, and we almost missed the end of the race because, well, Adam Terry has just run away with this one. He's 2 seconds in front of Richard Wilde. Adam Terry comes across the line. He will be so thankful to remember what the taste of victory is like.
Yeah, that's a good win for him. He'll be happy with that one.
Well done to Adam Terry. 2nd place to Richard Wilde there. Russell Laidler hangs on somehow. And side by side over the line, Katz will take 4th, Stevens 5th, Hoog takes 6th, so a great run from Hoog. 7th for Laura Bond. Mark Hewitt finishes 8th. McCarran 9th. Ashley Sutton managed to get up to 10th position in that race, so still in the points after his incident on lap 1 or 2.
I'm just going to keep a very careful eye on the post-race chatter here, because I'm fully expecting some fireworks.
Well, there were some huge incidents in that race, and some incidents with huge consequences, shall we say.
Yeah, Laura, instantly thinking that it's her fault that Cheppy's been disqualified, but I don't think Laura can take any blame for that one. I don't think she had anywhere to go. Chepelevsky'd already lost it and gone on the grass himself.
So he would have picked up an incident for going on the grass anyway, but it would have escalated to a 4 incident car contact, I imagine. Although, yeah,
Laura can't blame herself for that, and shouldn't blame herself for that. There's no way she could have done anything differently there. But the damage there is done for Chepalevsky's point of view by Ander Diaz early on. I mean, just
well,
some lunacy going on there.
Seeing as we're quite speechless in the commentary box, let's bring in Russell Laidler, who finished third in that race. Are you with us, Russell?
Evening.
Evening, thanks for joining us. A great result for you in that final race, but it was sketchy, touch and go for a while, wasn't it?
Oh, that was... I'll tell you something, that was one of the most enjoyable races that I've ever had, and everything was going on. How I was holding on to places, I don't know. It was just sheer luck, and everyone else's bad luck behind me. I asked for some good luck, and I think I got some.
Now, I think your teammate, well, your CQR buddy at least in the opposite shadow team, as it were, Michael Hall, was the first person ever to refuse a pole position.
Yeah, I don't know what did he turn up, or I don't know what happened.
Well, he didn't turn up for the third race, which promoted you to pole automatically.
Ah, that'll explain it then.
So it doesn't sound like you have any more idea than us what was going on there. But now, did you see any of the incidents with Chepalevsky at all?
I didn't know. It was the only time I really seen him was the one when he was behind me, and it was, I'm guessing, with Diaz or somewhere, I don't know, but I just seen loads of tyre smoke and Cheppy was sideways, and the second time he went straight on at the first corner after, I think he nudged Diaz, who nudged into me, and that was it. Cheppy just went straight on.
And it didn't look like you had much trouble controlling the car through the corners despite the rear contact.
Again, it was just it was so much fun. It was a little bit it was a lot looser than what I normally have it, but it paid off, if that makes any sense.
So difficult to control, but equally difficult to keep the strength of that kind of competition behind you, I imagine. And you lost out in the end to just Adam Terry and Richard Wilde, so can't be too disappointed with a third place podium.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, that's to be expected. As I say, Stevens made a few good moves on me. I was really enjoying the battle with Ellis Stevens. And then there was Katz. How I've managed to pull it off, I have no idea, but I'm hoping to kind of carry this through into Brands Hatch at least.
And 3 rounds left next week at Brands Hatch. It's often stated that it's one of the drivers' favourite tracks. How does it sit with you?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's one of the 2 tracks I've actually got any real life experience on, and I've been smashing around there in the Jetta all week on iRacing, and it's just the way it flows. It's the track that you just want to play on all day, like.
Well, fantastic result in the last race this evening, and thanks for joining us. That's Russell Laidler, CQR
Thank you
Phantom.
very much.
Oh, and I cut him off a little bit early. Sorry about that, Russell. Never mind. Let's see if we can get a quick word with 7th place finisher Laura Bond. Are you with us, Laura?
Hi, Chris.
Hi,
Welcome
Laura.
back to BSR TV, and your number one founder of the Laura Bond fan club is in the commentary box as well, Matt Dalton. I think we're both quite impressed with the 7th place finish, and you must be as well, Laura.
Yeah, I am quite pleased. I feel bad that I hit Cheppy on that second last lap. I'd let them past a couple of times. Just got in the way that time.
Well, go on.
Yeah,
Matt.
we were just talking about that in commentary, Laura, and I think it's you need to have another look at it, because I don't think you can blame yourself at all on that one. The guy, Stelly at that point was already probably going to be out anyway. He'd had a major contact off Ander when Ander decided to remove his brain and drive like a complete wally at the start, and I think you're completely blameless on that one.
Yeah, I saw that he was going to kind of run off the corner, and I knew if I went round wide I'd probably get collected, so that's why I dived to the inside. It was just a bit too late. Anyway, I couldn't keep letting people go past me easily, otherwise I was going to end up out the top 10, and I would have been disappointed with that. So.
Well, fair play to you. You held on for 7th place very well. First time racing against Stefan Hoog, though. Surprised you that he has that much pace?
Yeah, he was quite nippy. I was gutted he got us at the last. That was my aim for the latter part of the race, was just to stay in front of him. And then the collision with Cheppy obviously left him the space to get on through. So, he was good fun to race, though.
And 3 rounds left, and you're up to somewhere like, I think it was 14th in the championship, so this run of form is one of your best?
Yeah, I've got points, I think, in the last 6 races. That's definitely a first for me. At the beginning of the season, I was hoping for a top 15 finish. I said I'd be pleased with that, so if I'm 14th, that's super. And I'm just going to try my best next week.
Well, thanks for joining us, and best of luck next week at Brands Hatch.
Thanks very much, fellas. See ya.
That's Laura Bond for Bianco, 7th place finisher this evening. One final
Possibly
time
been a bit hard on herself as well, there, wasn't she?
She was hard on herself. I'm just wondering if we might be able to get a quick word with Andreas. Are you there, Andy?
Hi.
Evening. Andreas Katz for eBay Motors. 4th place finish in the final race, but you are just the epitome of efficiency this evening. We've seen you finish so well, and it doesn't seem like anything can stop you now.
My plan today was be fast but drive wise, and it was very exciting.
So is there any particular favourite? Was the last race your favourite out of those?
The last one was like, I think we were 4 wide in the second corner, and in the third corner. That was alright. I thought no crash at all, and I did miss Alice. The spotter did not say something to me, so I touched Alice and I thought, what does my car do? And then I saw Alice next to me. Very exciting. I think that was wow.
Well,
yeah, I was just going to say that I don't think you'd have enjoyed that third race too much. I think you probably would have had your heart in your mouth the entire race.
Well,
it was both. I think it was funny, but still I tried to save, don't make an accident. But it was very much fun.
Well, you've scored very well in all 3 races this evening. But how worried are you about Ashley Sutton, especially if he starts next season, because he's proving to be quite fast?
I gave him his room today. I knew that I was faster in the quali, I think, and I did not make it very, very hard for him, and I knew that he was 1 wing less than me. He was at -2, I think. And I thought, no, I go the safe way today, and it worked good. So I needed the points. Ashley is the problem in the next season then.
So there's...
Okay.
Sorry,
just
go
one
on,
thing
Matt.
I'd just like to ask you, Andreas, as well, is that, you know, we've seen in the last couple of races you've driven extremely smooth and stayed out of trouble, and, you know, do you have any words for Stellian, who's really not really done anything wrong? He's just been on the receiving end of some rather muppet driving from some of the other guys out there, and
yeah, that can happen. I had the same, and you can remember yesterday Porsche race. I was second quali from 60 guys, and it kept two laps, I think, and then I was out. And that can happen, and that's bad for him. I feel sorry for him, but next week it can happen to me. Brands Hatch is not easy, so we will see.
Well, that was my final question for you, Andreas. You're right on the brink of your first iRacing British Touring Car Championship, and you got every chance to take it now. So what is your approach going into Brands Hatch?
The same then today. Drive fast but wise. Smooth, don't make an accident. And I looked in the mirror in the third race. I think I avoided like 2 accidents where I saw, oh, this will not fit. And so I made space and let them pass. That's okay. I need the points. And 1 point more or less does not count.
You make a very good point. And best of luck to you in the last 3 rounds from Brands Hatch. We'll be watching very keenly.
Okay, thank you.
That's Andreas Katz there, championship leader for eBay Motors. He's got a great accent, hasn't he?
he has, you know, and he made some great points there as well. He just basically saying, you know, he's trying to keep himself out of trouble. He was trying to do his own thing, and you know. But look, he won't forget last season. You know, am I right in thinking Adam Terry went into the weekend at Brands Hatch thinking that he had a good shot at the championship, and it was all he had to do was finish, and he didn't finish a single one, did he? He got punted off first corner all 3 races. So
it's worth pointing out that at this point last season there was a 3-point gap at the top, and I've got a feeling the gap will be more like 35 points or so. We don't have the exact points for you at this stage, but we'll try and get you those before Brands Hatch next week. The season finale, season 4 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship. So excited, I'm losing my voice already. It's going next week, which is going to be the 16th of January, Thursday evening. Don't miss it. We'll be here. I hope you will be too. So thanks for watching this evening, and we'll see you next time.